welcome back to the Hilltop Pillbox here in Abbotsford, British Columbia, Canada. And I'm just going to show you what's happened around the world here in our exciting BBR3 Operation Market Garden. And the Axis are, despite losing Italy 3 turns ago, have been really putting the screws to us here. So they're playing a great game, and we're going to I'm going to give you a brief rundown before I begin my turn here. And I'm still waiting on some info from my allies, what do you call it? Opponents, yeah. So, but this is the American information here. I got $71 to spend, so I'm buying 4 Strat Bombers and 7 infantry, and that's $69, so I'm saving 2 with America. This is 70 here. I just didn't want to do all the change. But anyway, there you go. That's saving 2 from my 71. I wish I had $1 more, then I could have bought that, but what can you do? For China, China has 20 bucks, so that's 4 infantry, 2 cavalry. Now Japan is just busted out like crazy, and still half of China is, well, more than half of China is under Chinese control, but they have definitely spread out quite a bit here. They came and took Iran, and I've got some free troops there. And of course they've got all the islands down here. And now they're moving up a little bit into China. With 2 turns left, there's still a big stack of Soviet and Chinese equipment here. So likely won't get the China point. But who knows? Who knows? Lots of game to be played yet. They've got a monstrous fleet with 5 loaded carriers floating about, causing all sorts of problems for us. And they're headed up to threaten the resource point. Off in Europe, we've got the Germans are kind of hemmed in right now. And we are going to be taking a poke at Paris. We're going to hopefully take Paris this turn, which will obviously give the Germans something to shoot at. And, yeah, they look bored. They look bored. We want to give them something to do. But beyond that, we're in it to win it, right? And the Axis, we currently have them at 12 points. They've got the 2 oil points, and got the Southeast Asia, so that's 3. And then they've got 9 cities, I believe is how it's going, or 8 cities, and then they got something else going on for them. I forget what it is. So it's going to be tight. It's going to be a really good ending. We were feeling pretty good as the Allies after we took Italy, but I had a conference with my partner, Corporal Clegg, who's doing a masterful job with the Soviets, and you know, we told each other, let's not get, you know, lackadaisical here. We've got to keep going, because Japan is an absolute monster. There was no stopping Japan taking Calcutta. There's really no stopping Japan taking Calcutta in this game. If Japan wants it, Japan gets it, right? Now, that's at the sacrifice of not subduing China, right? But there's really nothing you can do to stop Calcutta from falling. You can build all you want there, and it's just going to die. To a concerted Japanese effort. Now, that's not saying Calcutta will fall every game, but I think everybody who's played this game knows that Calcutta will fall if Japan says, I'm taking Calcutta. Nothing you can do about it. They sacrificed some planes to do it, and they took it. You just can't get enough stuff over there, especially if Italy's doing a great job, which Italy did, putting pressure on Cairo, which kept a lot of stuff closer to home. Here in Africa, which we then couldn't build up in Calcutta. But I'm not sure that I've seen a BBR game myself that I've been involved in where Calcutta hasn't fallen. It just happens, right? It just happens. So we're kind of glad that this game doesn't mirror history. Because if it did, of course, then Japan is... You know, the Southeast Asia point is even contested because they didn't actually take all of Burma. And the Burma Road just carried on throughout the war. And Japan was pretty much hemmed in on the coast. They didn't really get into China. And that's where gameplay and and historical accuracy collide a little bit. But we do have, you know, the Japanese big fleet down here. We got a lone Anzac sub here having some fun, and yeah. So we're going to be having some fun up here. We're going to be hopefully killing some Japanese destroyers, hopefully taking Paris, hopefully I'm debating about Greater Southern Germany right now, whether I want to do that with America or do that with Italy, but we got to take it. If we don't take it, then those tanks are going to run amok and probably end up in downtown Rome by turn 8, which we really don't want to have happen. But anyway, I just heard my phone buzz, so I think I got some information. But that's where we're at right now, folks. This is an excellent, excellent game. Full marks to the Axis for, even though losing Rome, they're threatening to win the game. And we've really got to do some work here to tidy things up. Wish us luck, and I'll start America in just a moment. All right, so here we are. We're going to start over here in Europe, and we're going to show you the things we're going to show you here. We've got a couple of fighters in Finland. They're going to go 1, 2. And we're going to go after those guys. And we're going to use the destroyer as well. And that's kind of weird odds there on the odds calculator. We have this Strat bomber with 2 men, and the transport has 2 men. So we're going to be splitting these guys up. We're going to leave them on the transport. These 2 guys are going to hop on. They're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into Normandy, Bordeaux, joined by these 2 fellas coming up there, and they're going to bring these 4 infantry. So we have 6 infantry coming into Normandy, Bordeaux. Of course, the bomber can land in southern France. Here we have these 2 fighters are going to come up and attack Holland, Belgium, and hopefully destroy these 2 tacticals. There's a reason for that. Meanwhile, I have decided to go after Greater Southern Germany with the Americans, and we're going to bring in these 7 units. I've got 3 mechs, 3 men, 1 artillery, and then 1 fighter in support by knocking over his own guy. Then we're going to have a tank and 2 men go into Greater Southern Germany. That is the iffiest battle I have done this game. Well, except for maybe that one. Alright, so that's on this side of the board. Over here, not much for battling, but we are going to send some subs here against these destroyers. So we're going to send these 4 subs against those 2 destroyers. Obviously, kind of better odds. And we're going to send this fighter and this fighter as well. Are going to go in there. So that's 1, 2, 3. And don't worry, they've got enough room to land where we're going to be sending everybody. All right, so we're going to start over here in Europe. And what we're going to do is we'll start with Normandy, Bordeaux, because that's kind of an easy one to do. I've got 6 at 1 versus 1 at 2. So we're going to grab these guys here. And we are going to roll it out. Alright. Oh, but first, make sure. I think I went over this in the previous video. It's been a little while. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting if there's something else I want to do here. There was something else. Dang nabbit. Alright, well, you don't want to sit there and listen to me think. Okay, so here we go with the Normandy Bordeaux battle, a battle royale. Here we go. Oh, that's pretty good. We killed them twice. Alright, so that becomes American, but if Paris falls, that will become French, of course. So I believe it's 2, yeah, 2 for Normandy, Bordeaux. So we're just going to knock the Germans down too, and we're just gonna believe that France is gonna fall here. All right, or be liberated. I'm not exactly sure what terminology to use there. Okay, So here we are on to the City of Lights. So we have 2 with the paired artillery and a mech. And then we've got 5 other at 1. And then we've got our advanced fighters at 4. Okay, and we can't roll his because his are going to be blue at 2. So, oh boy. All right, well, just 2 hits on that. And he gets to come back with 4 dice. Let's move those out of the way. And he also got 2. So he's down to 2 dice. So those will be his defense dice there. All right, and I've lost 2. So I am down to 3 at 1, 1 at 4, 2 at 2. Oh, come on, fighter. All right, so he's down to 1. Aye! We are just getting slaughtered today. All right, well, I lose 2 more. He's down to 1. Can't believe this. And the fighter missed a gain, but I did get a hit. All right, well, he missed. Okay, so I ended up losing 2 on the first round, 2 on the second round. So I lost 4 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That hurt a lot. I did not think I'd lose 4 units to those guys, but well. But anyway, Paris has fallen, which means that it has been, liberated, of course. So I've got these guys out. I was, again, thinking positively. So the Germans are going to drop 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the French now are going to go up to 16. All right, this is going to get a little messy because the Italians are going to lose 3 here. 1, 2, 3. The Italians are going to lose 2 more here. 1, 2. And I think that's all that has to change hands. But the French are at 16 now because they've got 16 points in and around the board. They'd have more, but French Indochina fell. Oh, 17. Forgot about French Madagascar.
I like to move it, move it.
So, 17. Now, what typically happens in this game is that you liberate it, and then the Germans take it back and just get more money to spend on round 18. But what can you do? Things have to be done. So that is where we're at there. Now we have 2. What am I doing with blue? I don't want blue. Got 2 black dice versus his 2 green dice here for that. So we can roll them at the same time. Okay, my black dice, these are 4s. Should be getting some hits here one of these days. All right, so we got him. We killed him. But he did take out one of ours. Okay. And they came from Northern Italy. 1, 2. They got plenty of room. I'm just going to bring him here into England. Okay, so successful so far. This bomber here, non-com, will land in southern France. So that's all taken care of there. Now we have this. Hey folks, I really apologize for that. My camera died. I use it in my audition class for film and television at the high school I teach at, and we do that on Fridays, and today's Saturday, and I just brought everything home and I forgot to charge it. And usually when it blinks, it gives me about 15-20 minutes of shooting, good warning. It's kind of like a low fuel light, and it did not do that for me. So, because I film here, this is my phone, and so, yeah, my camera died. So I apologize. I like to do one long take. I don't like to, I just like to do one long take, and I've already done these battles, which I took a beating in France. But I hope there's no impropriety thought of what I've done here. So I apologize, and we're just going to carry on. So he's got 3 AA shots at me with his battleship. There's no planes to scramble in Western Germany. So okay, so at least it starts out all right. I've got 2 fighters, 1 destroyer, and he's going to have 2 4s. He's got a cruiser and a battleship there. Okay, well that's very fortunate for me. And he's going to have 2 4s coming back though. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to kill the destroyer. We'll kill the German fleet. And then the fighter that's not painted up nicely by Panzer King. He's got 2 spaces left. He's going to go 1, 2. He's going to land in Scotland. Actually, wait a second. He's here. He can go 1, 2. He'll just land in England, I guess. Let's land him in England. Okay. Now Greater Southern Germany. It's the last battle on the Europe side. So we've got this Strat bomber. He can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got 1 left. And then we're going to have the tank and 2 men come into Greater Southern Germany. All right. So we've got 2 at 2. We've got 2 at 1. And we got 1 at 3. And his are at 2, so I can't roll them at the same time. Okay, so I got 2 hits, and that's all the guys he has there, so that's fortunate. All right, and he's got 2. He does get a hit, that's okay. We'll just take off one of the Americans here. And America's going to get a little bit of a payout. Now the bomber has 1 space left. Of course, he'll land in northern Italy. I didn't even get an American rondel out for that. Boy, I wasn't a believer. All right, so we'll do that right now. So we got Germany dropping down 4 to 27, America going up 4 to 54. And I'll just grab a American rondel. USA, USA. There we go. Okay, so I believe that's everything on this side of the board. Anything I was going to do, everything else is going to be non-com movements. Okay. On this side, well, China's pretty simple. No attacks for China, or do we? Do we? I didn't put him out there, so I guess I'm not doing any attacks. Okay, the buddy here, he's going to move up to Kansu. And all 3 guys on the coast are going to move back into Anhui. That's non-com, but what do you, who cares? They're not shooting anybody. There's no dice going on. Up here, we've got 2 at 4 and 4 at 2. And of course, I left my die rolling tray on the other side of the world. 2 at 4, 4 at 2, and then he's going to have a couple of 2s. And that's all we've got for shooting. So we'll just do that here. All right, so I've got 4 subs at 2 and 2 fighters needing 2 hits. Hey, good. The fighter showed up this time. That's good. And he's got 2 destroyers coming back. He gets 1 hit. Okay. So we'll take 1 sub off and the 2 Japanese destroyers. Okay. So that is all the fussing and bother that's going on in this round. So I'm going to pause it at this point, and actually I don't. Yeah, I just hate having to move things on the far side of the world. It's a big board.
You'll see the big board.
All right. After much deliberation and soul searching, and yeah, using my magic 8-ball.
The magic ball says you have not long to live.
Oh, goody.
We are going to bring with 1 transport. We're going to go up to the Aleutian Islands and take 2 men up there with us. Okay. I have moved the whole fleet back to here. Just reset everything. The planes that did the attack, 1, 2, 3. There was 1 from there, 4, 5. He can come back. So everything just landed back here on the carrier. The sub from 4 moved over to the Aleutian Islands. I think I might have mentioned that already. Sorry, this is a really confused turn. And then we're going to bring down to Hawaii these 2 transports with 2 men and 2 artillery. Okay, so Hawaii is now more populated. We'll do a run-by of what is where. Okay. yeah, that's pretty much it there. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. And yeah, off we go. All right. Now, non-com over here in Europe. Kind of messy here, sorry about that. Of course, transport here coming down and drop these guys off in Gibraltar. Doesn't really matter where they go. And then we have a destroyer and a cruiser here. And we are going to move them over to Sea Zone 99. And all of these transports are going to move because they don't have anything to carry anymore. 1, 2, 3. They're going to move out here. And we'll have a transport fleet that's just going to defend against any attack. Yeah, monstrous fleet. And it's everything there. The plane that went to France, he went 1. And then he can go 2, 3, 4, 5 easily into England. And the strategic bomber landed there. That one landed there. All good for the American stuff on that side. China, just being China. And I believe this is what we have here. I don't think there's anything else I need to do. All right. Now, just to place things. So we've got a lone bomber and a lone infantry. Oh, there is one more what do you call it? Non-com.
What's wrong with you, stupido?
So I built 2 things here. Which is going to help us get our bonus. Although turn 7's money means nothing to America because we can't use anything we build. Which I don't like. I don't like that. That all the builds after the Japanese turn have 0 effect on the game. So don't like that. Hopefully something can get worked in. Like in Global War 36, there's the capital ships, right? Japan gets victory points for having more capital ships than America, and vice versa, and that would make the builds a little bit more relevant, because right now they're not relevant on your build. Your turn 7 money is not relevant. So hoping we can work something in. Not sure what we can do that wouldn't break the game though, because I certainly don't want to break this fabulous game. But that's one thing that annoys me.
Stop whining.
So all of these guys here, so we got 9 units going into the US West Coast. See that? It's like I have... There we go. Alright. Got it all taken care of. And now American money. So we're up to 54. And then we're going to get our bonuses again because we've got all this stuff. So that's another 20. So that's 74. We saved 2. So we're going to have $76 to spend next round. I believe that means I'm going to get another nickel out of here. So let's just count it up here. 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 76 bucks for the United States. There we go. If this were a 10-round game, that would probably worry the Japanese. We have 20 bucks here. We've spent it on 4 men and 2 horsies. Now, the 4 men, I'm actually going to turn that into, and add 2 men, and these guys are going to go up to Kansu. Okay, I'm gonna plant them in Kansu, and yeah, I'll leave it like that. Okay, so China, I believe we're at 13. I believe that's what we're at, but we'll count it up. So we've got, oh, maybe not that much. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is 12. So maybe, oh, Yunnan is 13. So 13. We saved nothing. So that means we'll have 13. Of course, the Burma Road is not open despite having Yunnan. You got to have all 4 territories, which again, in this is likely not to happen, which is unfortunate for the Chinese. But hey, they're still making 13 on round 6, so I'm not going to complain about that. All right, so we'll do a flyby now, let you know where everything is at. So we've got 3 strategic bombers and 6 infantry and 2 AA in San Francisco. On the Aleutians, we have 2 men. We have a transport and a submarine. We have 3 subs in C-Zone 16. In Hawaiian waters, we have 5 submarines, 1 destroyer, 2 cruisers, oh, pardon me, 2 destroyers. Should organize this. Sorry folks, this is a horrible video. I'm not proud of this one. This is terrible. So we've got 5 subs, 2 cruisers, 2 destroyers, 5 transports, and 1 battleship. And in Hawaii we have 4 artillery, 1 mech, and 5 men. So enough stuff to load up the 5 transports. And on Wake Island we have 2 fighters and 3 tacticals. And that's everything for America on this side. For China, we've got, I should have chipped this out, we got 5, and another 5, and another 5, that's 15, 20. We have 21 infantry, 3 artillery, 1 fighter, and 3 horsies. There you go. Well, it looks like I might be getting some info. Yeah, alright, so my phone just buzzed and I'm getting some info at this point, so hopefully it's okay. Hopefully I did alright. We have, in London, we have 3 American fighters. In Normandy, Bordeaux. Oh, man. Normandy, Bordeaux, we have 6 U.S. infantry. In France, we have 1 U.S. artillery and 2 mechs. Boy, that was not a good battle. We have a strategic bomber in southern France, a strategic bomber in northern Italy. In greater southern Germany, we have a tank and an infantry. And I believe that's everything for America and China. And there we are on the board. Yeah, no, it was 13. It was 13. Yeah. So, there we go. 13 and 54. So, UK is up next. I definitely won't be able to do that right now, but I'll keep it. Oh, sorry, more American stuff. We got 6 American transports here in 91. We have 2 in 105, and we have 2 men in Gibraltar. We have a destroyer and a cruiser in 99. Yeah, so hopefully I haven't screwed anything else up. This, again, not proud of this video. No, it was not a good one. Anyway, there we go, folks. That's the money left over, and we'll do UK shortly, and hopefully it is a bit more smoothly run than this debacle. It should be, because I don't think we have... Yeah, don't think we have any battling.
Wrong!
So, should be very smooth. All right, we'll see you in Britain, UK 6. Just a moment. Hello, folks. All right, well, for you it was a moment. For me, it's been about 18 hours, and we're back ready to do the UK 6, shortly to be followed by the Italy 6. Yesterday was a day of game testing, play testing, the game I'm developing with for historical board gaming, and had a lot of great help from my buddy Panzer King. It's always great to play test with people who know wargaming and gaming in general, because he saw some things and had some great suggestions that's just going to make the game a whole lot better. And as we were playing, we both stumbled onto something that I think made the game magnitudes better from what it was. So, and you know, sometimes you don't see these things until you start rolling dice, and then you're like, wait a second, why are we doing that? That's too complicated. And so streams are right down, and it's going to be a fantastic game. So hopefully out next year sometime, but we'll see. We all know that designing games and getting everything done is very difficult. I mean, here we are, this is BBR3, and there have been literally hundreds and hundreds of games played of this, possibly into the thousands, where people have given feedback to Sired, and things have been changed. There's been changes on the map, values, changes in land zones, and all the rest. So things keep changing. You know, you always like to have the game right, you know, out of the box. It's right there, boom, hit the table, play, nothing needs to be done. I don't think I've ever run into a war game that has needed no tweaking whatsoever. And when I say tweaking, a lot of times that's just because you and your game group, you know, feel like it needs a little bit of flavor, a little bit of a change, and that's all right. But yesterday was that, and then my wife and I had to go do some shopping, and had a nice date night. And you got to have date nights, all you married guys out there. You got to have date nights. And I know it's difficult when you got kids. I know it's difficult. You know, our little one's grown up now, and you know, it's a lot different, of course. But it's funny, you know, you have a date night, and it just cheers you up. So there you go. Yeah, so here we are, hours and hours later. We only have one attack happening, and that's going to be a bombing raid on the West German factory. All right, so the West German factory is going to get some love and attention from the British. And we'll show you what that's going to look like by taking this strategic bomber. I know it's not a beautiful, you know, strategic bomber like the American ones are, right? But hey, here we go. We're going to fly that thing up. It's going to go 1, 2. He's going to have... he came from southern Italy with an air base, so he's got 5 left, but it's plenty. And then we've got a tactical. This guy I built last turn. He's going to fly 3. He's got 3 left because of ATC. He's got a movement of 6. But that's all we've got. Oh, here's the build, by the way. So we've got 6 transports being built by the British. We have $47, so we're going to save $5 for the British. I guess I should probably just get that out. So we're saving 5. All this will go away, and I certainly won't be getting that much money back on this round. Okay, so here's the strat bombing raid. So we're going to say the red is going to be the heavy, or the strategic bomber. So we're going to add 2 to this roll, and this will just be the tactical, which is, I believe, just the face value. I know it's +1 in some HBG games, but I believe in BBR it is just the face value. So here we go. These are my... We used to play Savage Worlds or whatever it's called. Yeah. All right, here we go. Okay, that's pretty good. So we've got 9, and then we're going to add 2, so that's going to be 11 total. So that's 11 damage. I'll just put this like this. I got 11. So it's 11 damage on the West German factory. Yeah, it's pretty much the best we could hope for. Now is all our non-combat maneuvers. Alright, so first things first. British tank on the transport coming across. Boom! We're going to help liberate Greece, mainly because we need the money. So there we go. $2 up for the Brits. Woohoo, 23. We're in the money. So this whole fleet just came up to 97. Okay, the whole fleet is up in 97. And yeah, ready to go. The fighter of this fleet here, and the fleet has 2 destroyers, 1 cruiser, 1 battleship, and a carrier. But the fighter is going to leave, and the fighter is going to go to Paris. I think it can make it. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then into Gay Paris over here. All right. Those guys aren't obviously able to do anything. And now we just have... Yeah. Now, I believe this is a Canadian destroyer. I didn't have all the different sculpts I needed for Canadians and Brits. If it's a British destroyer, it's going to come up to 110. If it's a Canadian destroyer, it's going to come up to 110 during the Canadian turn. Okay? So there's that. Then we've got the planes, and the tactical is going to land in France, and the strategic will head back to the United Kingdom. Okay, it had plenty of movement left. All right. Then, the last thing the Brits are going to do on the board, very quick turn, these 3 fighters are going to go 1, 2, and they're going to land in Norway, 3. Okay? So that is everything there. This is a Canadian transport. This is a Canadian transport. So there's nothing for it there. Can't do anything with any of that. So Britain has been a target, obviously. We know that the Japanese have had some have had it out for them, as they typically do, right? It's easy pickings down here. So the British have lost an awful lot of their stuff. This here is actually worth a little bit of money to the Brits, but we also like having these units down here. There's 2 turns left, so they can cause maybe a little bit of grief for the Axis. Okay, so then we're going to put our build on, and it's all going to go into 110. Look at that. I think that's how Chaplin put his tanks in Calcutta, so he just chucked them in there. So there we go, we saved 5. So the British, that's all we're doing. The British then have 23, and then we do have 1 more bonus because the Allies control northwest Iran. So that gives us $25, plus we save 5. So we're going to have 30 to spend on round 7. And that's it. So a quick overview of where things are. We've got a beat up factory in Cairo, 7 damage on it. We have got 4 men and 1 tank in Greece. We've got an empty carrier, 2 destroyers, cruiser, 2 transports, and a battleship in 97. In Paris, we have a fighter and a tactical. We have still Mr. Mech in Gibraltar, who's kind of had a bit of a lonely game. He's been there since like round 2. We have 6 transports just placed there. We haven't done anything in here, but we'll tell you how many we got. We got 6, and then we've got another 5. It's 11, and 2 more is 13. So I believe we have 13 infantry, 1 artillery in London. We have a strategic bomber in London. We have our 5 anti-aircraft in London. And then we've got 3 Spitfires in Norway. That is everything that the Brits have on the board. Yeah, not great, but hopefully enough to make the Germans a little concerned about things. All right, so $30, and I believe that's everything. I don't think we're being convoyed anywhere.
We got a great big convoy rocking through the night.
I looked it over before. The Germans don't have any boats, and the Japanese boats are here, and they own all that stuff. They're the ones getting convoyed. So, all right, folks, that's it. We're going to do Italy next. Coming right up. All right, everybody, here we go. We got the Italian turn, and with a tip of the hat to Gargantua, I'm going to try something crazy here, but here we go. We got $24 to spend with Italy, building 8 infantry. All right, we just got 1 attack. Like I said, a tip of the hat to Gargantua. I'm going to send this infantry against that tactical. This is the kind of stuff he'd pull on us in these games, and it would work. So we're going to give it a whirl. Yeah, if we get lucky, it'd be great. All right, here we go. I'm sorry. Okay. This is my one-sided dice, by the way. Gargantua. Full cred, man. Full credit for that. I would never do that in 100 years. But I just said, screw it. This is like 2 minutes after I did the UK turn, and I thought, you know what? Let's just have some fun. Okay. Now, knowing that we did that, unfortunately, it weakens Italy's protection of Paris, but it's going to also weaken the German attack on Paris. So anyway, there we go. I'm not laughing. I'm laughing in spite of myself. I'm not laughing at my opponents or whatever. But anyway, there it is. This is a non-com. Then I'm moving a guy from northern Italy into there. All these guys are moving in. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we got 3 more moving in to Paris, and the AA gun is going to move into Paris. Okay. We're also going to, as Detroit would say, make steam, come across to 96. We're going to pick up these guys here, and we're going to make some more steam, come up there and drop these guys off in northern Italy. So a man in artillery. This man here, this is a very important move. You may not know why now, but possibly later. And then this submarine is going to go 1, 2. And yeah, we're going to convoy those Japanese, bite into their economy a little bit. That's everything on the board for Italy. So that's Italy's turn. We'll put the 8 guys on here in northern Italy. Oh my goodness. See, you know what? Maybe I've got to be more bold. Maybe, you know, I'm taking a page from Gargantua there, right? Because I've played a lot with him, and he does that kind of stuff. He just sees it. And we see it, and we disregard it. We dismiss it. And he sees it and says, no, anything can happen. And if it wins, hey, great. So there we go. So Italy goes up 3. 1, 2, 3. Germany goes down 3. 1, 2, 3. Plus, this is going to give an extra 2 for them. So, Italy has 5 for all their own territories. I don't believe they've lost any. They don't have much to begin with. And there we go. So they're going to get 5 for that. And then for each territory Italy controls that was originally German or pro-Axis, well, that's obviously Romania. So that's going to give another 2. So that's a bonus of 7. Tacked on to the 15, so we're at 22, so it's a little less than we had this turn. So 10, 22 for Italy for next round. So we've got 1 man, 1 infantry in Egypt. We've got a sub in C-Zone 80 on convoy duty. Got a man in Romania. Yugoslavia has 1 infantry. We've got a cruiser and a transport in 97. We placed 8 men, so we have 9 men and 1 artillery in northern Italy. We've got 9 men and 1 anti-aircraft in Paris. And that is everything. All right, go Italy. I'm going to turn things over now to Corporal Clegg off in the UK. He's going to be taking care of Anzac and the Anzacanarants, of which there are some very important moves this turn. You know what, as the game goes on, they get more important, so... Anyway, folks, that is it. And, yeah, if we learned anything, Gargantua, thank you very much.